Imagine finding yourself caught in the middle of two feuding powers. What would you do? This is the predicament Jordan, a small Arab country in the Middle East, finds itself in. Nestled between Israel and Iran, Jordan is in the midst of rising tensions that could potentially ignite a full-blown war in the region. This situation reached a boiling point on a fateful Saturday when Iran, backed by its supporting militias, unleashed a barrage of drones and missiles aimed at Israel. This was in retaliation for an attack that obliterated the Iranian consulate in Damascus, taking the lives of several officers. In a surprising turn of events, the Jordanian Air Force sprang into action, intercepting the projectiles mid-flight. Jordan stood alone in this act, the only Arab nation to step into the fray. Experts had expected US and British troops stationed in the region to ward off the Iranian assault. However, it was Jordan's response that caught many, including Israel, off guard. Despite maintaining formal relations with Israel, one of the few Arab nations to do so, Jordan has been a vocal critic of Israel's military intervention in Gaza. The relationship between the two nations has been strained, to say the least, and has worsened over the past few years. Jordan's foreign minister, Hassan Afami, has accused Israel of committing war crimes in Gaza, and the country withdrew its ambassador from Tel Aviv in protest of Israeli actions in Gaza, further severing ties on water and solar energy agreements. So why would Jordan intervene to neutralize Iran's attack on Israel? The answer lies in a delicate balance of national interests and regional stability. Jordan has a complex relationship with both Israel and Iran, and any major conflict involving these two powers would invariably affect Jordan. As we delve deeper into this intricate web of relationships, it's important to remember that Jordan, a nation often away from the world's attention, now stands at the epicenter of a potential conflict. The actions it takes and the decisions it makes could have far-reaching implications for the Middle East and beyond. Let's delve into the complex relationship between Jordan and Israel. Jordan is one of the few Arab countries to maintain official diplomatic relations with Israel. This connection, however, does not imply an absence of friction or disagreement. Despite their formal ties, Jordan has been one of the most vocal critics of Israel's military interventions in Gaza. In recent years, the relationship between these two nations has been strained, to say the least. Notably, Jordan's foreign minister Hassan Afami has accused Israel of committing war crimes in Gaza. There's been a strong show of support from Jordan for the genocide lawsuit that South Africa filed with the International Court of Justice against Israel. This is a clear indication of the complexities within these diplomatic relations. The discord between the two countries escalated further in November when Jordan made a significant move. In protest against the actions of Israeli troops in Gaza, Jordan withdrew its ambassador from Tel Aviv. This act is a clear diplomatic signal of disapproval and marks a significant downturn in their relationship. But the tension doesn't end there. Jordan also terminated bilateral agreements on water and solar energy. These agreements were crucial elements of their cooperation, and their termination is a reflection of the escalating tensions between the two nations. However, this complex relationship is not just about political maneuvers and diplomatic ties. We must remember that around half of Jordan's population is made up of refugees or descendants of Palestinians. These individuals vividly remember the 4 wars between Jordan and Israel since 1948. Their influence on the public sentiment and political landscape in Jordan can't be understated. While maintaining formal relations, the tension between Jordan and Israel is palpable. Despite the diplomatic ties, the undercurrent of disagreement and discontent is clear. It's a delicate balance, a dance of diplomacy and domestic interest, which Jordan has been managing for decades. The Palestinian issue is more than international politics for Jordan, it's personal. Let's take a trip back in time to when Jordan was a fledgling country, newly independent and finding its footing in the world. From the moment Israel was established in the former British Mandate of Palestine back in 1948, Jordan was thrust into a series of conflicts. These wars led to an influx of Palestinian refugees into Jordan, forever intertwining the fates of the two nations. In Jordan, the Palestinian issue isn't just a matter of international politics. It's a deeply personal matter that affects around half of the country's population. These individuals are refugees or descendants of refugees who remember the 4 wars between Jordan and Israel since 1948. Their experiences and memories have left an indelible mark on the country's collective psyche, influencing its stance on Israel. However, the world of international relations is never simple, is it? In 1993, the Oslo Accords were signed between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, aiming to end the conflict between the two. This historic agreement spurred Amman to take a step towards peace as well. Jordan signed its own peace agreement with Israel, formalizing a relationship that, in many ways, had been in existence for quite some time. With this agreement, Jordan became the second Arab country to establish formal relations with Israel. This move, however, came with its own set of challenges. Jordan found itself walking a tightrope, balancing the Palestinian interests among its citizens on one side and the importance of military cooperation with Israel and the US on the other. It was, and still is, a delicate dance of diplomacy and pragmatism. But let's not forget, the heart of Jordan's population beats with the pulse of the Palestinian issue. It's a heartbeat that echoes through the halls of power, influencing Jordan's decisions and shaping its relationship with Israel. The Palestinian issue remains a delicate balancing act for Jordan. So why did Jordanian troops try to neutralize Iran's attack on Israel? This question reverberates across the globe as we delve into the intricate dynamics of defense and solidarity that Jordan navigates. In the wake of the Iranian missile and drone attack on Israel, Jordan's immediate response was to deploy its air force in an interception effort. This wasn't a show of solidarity with Israel, but rather a defensive measure to protect its own airspace and citizens. The Jordanian government was clear in its stance, emphasizing the necessity of this move to ward off potential risks to its population. But the situation is far from simple. Jordan finds itself in a delicate balancing act, caught between the interests of its Palestinian population and the significance of military cooperation with Israel and the United States. This contradiction forms a complex tapestry of loyalties and priorities that Jordan has to negotiate daily. Even as Jordan upholds its defense commitments, the nation is cautious about displaying any overt solidarity or sympathy for Israel. It's a tightrope walk, a careful dance around the sensitivities of its people and the geopolitical realities of the region. While the Palestinian issue is viewed more as an internal matter, the importance of military cooperation with Israel and the US cannot be overlooked. These alliances are vital for Jordan as it navigates the volatile landscape of the Middle East. They provide a safety net, a buffer against the complex conflicts that could potentially destabilize the nation. The contradiction between Palestinian interests among its citizens and the importance of military cooperation with Israel and the US is a tightrope that Jordan walks daily. It's a delicate balance, a constant juggling act of defense, diplomacy, and solidarity. In this intricate dance of alliances and interests, Jordan perseveres, maintaining its delicate balance of defense and solidarity. It strives to uphold its national security while also respecting the sentiments of its people. It's a challenging task, but one that Jordan continues to navigate with grace and resilience. In the face of complex conflicts, Jordan walks a thin line between defense and solidarity. It's a delicate balance, a dance of diplomacy and defense, and one that the nation continues to navigate with determination and tenacity.